talented individual, and I'm very thankful to call him a friend of mine, though he may not reciprocate. His name is Jim Hodgson. He's a wonderful humorist, creator of the Atlanta Banana, and he's an author, published author, so he has written a book. And his wife, he and Megan, have created this amazing online webisode series called
60 Minutes.
60 Minutes. They do all the parts.
Should check it out.
He does one safer. Amazing. You'd be surprised. No, it's cross-threaded.
Yes, cross-threaded.
And it's about
Cars.
It's about these two people who love each other dearly, trying to build a car.
I said that wrong. It's about these two people who love each other dearly,
Trying to build a car,
trying to build a car, trying to break. Could you?
That's all.
Yes.
You gotta get the improvers up here too. Jim's going to tell us a little story tonight.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to leave you, Jim. Good
Thank
luck.
you, boys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Guys, I was stalked once. Stop. I heard that cough. It happened. It happened right here in this very neighborhood. This was when writers could afford to live in this neighborhood. A young woman approached me and she asked, she said she represented artists and asked if I'd like to be in contact with her. And having dealt with agents before, I said, no. But I found her business card under my windshield wiper a few days later, name, email address, phone number. I didn't feel like I could ignore it. I mean, for all I knew, I was being watched right there in the middle of the street. But if I didn't shake her loose, I could be completing a purchase at In-Town Ace, and she'd spring up out of nowhere and demand 15% of the change. Now, my mama raised me to be polite, and Atlanta is a big, small town. People talk. And some people say that agents have thoughts and feelings, just like you and I do. So I decided to send an email, but I used as few words as possible because brevity is the soul of wit, and also the subtext of get lost. Now I thought the matter was settled, but a few days later I got a text message from her. How did she get my phone number? Well, I texted her back. I said, okay, you are definitely stalking me at this point. Please leave me alone. Well, an awkward conversation followed. But I thought the matter was well and truly settled at this point, as it should be, because I had just inherited a TV from a family member, and that TV was way bigger than my current TV. Important matters, you guys. Video games were huge! My friend Nick came over and we stole imaginary cars together. It was great. But then a few days later, I got another text from the agent, and this one said, that's a pretty cool new TV you have. How does she know about my TV? Now, people joke about their home being a cave, but that's the way I live. Blinds down, shades drawn, temperature 52 degrees. And I also keep my desk messy in case I want to search around for a small item and become enraged when I can't find it. My wife is here tonight and she will confirm that she likes none of these things. So how would this woman sneak into my cave to see my new TV? It didn't matter. I had to ignore her. Now, this was in the days before cell phone companies allowed us to block one another on our phones because they didn't want to miss out on the service charges of stalkers contacting their victims. Big business. So I ignored her. And I thought the matter was settled again. But a few days later, I got another text. And this one said, you should clean up that desk of yours. It's a mess. How does she know about my messy desk? I was in the clutches of a mad woman from whom there was no escape. I went to dinner with some friends of mine and told them about the whole thing. I said, she's texting me all the time. And they said, yeah, that's pretty weird. I said, she's peeping in my windows. And they said, yeah, that's definitely weird. I said, what if she's been reading my book? And they said, well, is that really all that likely? Shut up, I said. Focus, I said. How could this happen to me? And then my friend Nick spoke up, and I will never forget his words. He said, I have been telling that agent to say those things. You what? Oh yes, he said, it's all been me. Now, my mama raised me to be polite, and that's how I knew that even at an informal dinner, it is rude to murder one of your closest friends. It seems the agent had said some choice words about me to Nick after I called her a stalker, and he saw an opportunity to amuse himself at my expense. He'd been feeding her details about the TV. He'd been feeding her details about my messy desk, and they had been laughing their fool heads off at me for weeks. And now, to my utter shame and embarrassment, all of my friends were having a laugh at my expense over dinner. And, ladies and gentlemen, now, as I stand here before you many years later, I want you to know I look back on that moment, and I still hate them all. Thank you very much for having me.